This week on the Autocar Show, Hyundai's stylish Sonata takes on Honda's much acclaimed Accord. We bring you another Hyundai. This is the facelifted i20. And Hormuz brings you the hottest news from the Indian auto industry.
Hyundai has just launched the Fluidic Sonata, and it certainly makes you take a look back at it. In fact, that's what reminds us of the original Sonata, which looked just so good customers queued outside showrooms to buy it. But that was back then. Looks are no longer the sole buying criteria, and customers want a whole lot more from their cars. That's exactly where the Accord has excelled for so many years. It offers the right blend of performance, refinement and luxury that you expect from a car of this class. The question is, can the new Sonata better the Accord? In terms of looks at least, the Sonata clearly has the upper hand. The eye-catching design is bold yet elegant, and that is sure to appeal to its targeted clientele. Detailing is fantastic, and the surfacing looks like the handiwork of a master sculptor. The eye-like headlamps, perfectly arched roof, and neat tail section are just some of the umpteen highlights here. But where the Sonata is about glitz, the Accord uses size to grab your attention. It really looks XXL, but that's not to say many will have a problem with that. The angular front, large headlights and spread out tail work, but the design is showing its age now. After all, the Accord is 4 years old. On the inside, the Sonata's cabin looks really plush. The dashboard is smart and gives you the feeling of sitting in a cockpit. And there are many nice bits in here, like the hooded instruments and the expensive looking wooden finish. Sadly, the quality of plastics is a mixed bag. The soft touch plastics on the dashboard top feel great, but many buttons on the center console just feel a bit cheap. The Accord cabin is more consistent that way. Quality is good throughout, and the layered dashboard not only looks great but makes the cabin feel really airy too. However, there are far too many buttons on the center console, and these can get a wee bit distracting when you're at the wheel. Both cars come with 2.4-litre petrol engines. Where the Sonata uses dual variable valve timing, the Accord uses Honda's famed VTEC technology. A crucial difference is in the Sonata's use of direct injection for greater efficiency and torque. In terms of power, the Sonata's 198 bhp is a full 21 bhp more than the Accord's. But does it drive better too? The engine feels really punchy, initial responses are very good, though the mid-range is a bit flat. But thanks to the good low-end torque, in-city drivability is good, and it cruises really well on the highway too. The clutch is a bit jerky though, so when you're changing gears within city traffic, there is a tendency of the car to stall, which could be a problem really. Bottom end responses are very good, but then you go into the mid-range, which is a bit flat. As a result, power delivery isn't as linear as the Accords. It's slightly jerky, so you have to just work around that within the city, but on the whole, the engine is quite impressive. We've always liked the Accord's engine for its power and refinement, and that stays pretty much the same even today. It's got great drivability, the power delivery is very linear, But again, thanks to that linearity, it somewhat lacks the punch that the Sonata has. And in today's competition, it feels a tad noisy too. If there's one place where the Accord feels a whole lot better than the Sonata, it has to be in the driving experience. The Accord steering is on the lighter side, but it's when you're cornering hard that you'll appreciate the steering for its consistency. It really imparts a whole lot of confidence. And body control is far superior to the Sonatas. The steering is on the heavier side, but the bigger problem is when you're cornering hard, it just doesn't feel as consistent as you'd like and doesn't inspire much confidence. But as with cars in this class, the battle is generally won or lost in the back seat. So after a hard day in the office, which one would you like to be seated in? The Sonata has great space in the back. There's ample legroom, good headroom, the seats are very comfortable. But if there is one problem, it's that the seat is a bit low, which means under thigh support is also compromised. But to make up for that, Hyundai has given you seat ventilation, which keeps your backside cool in the hottest of Indian summers. And that really makes you feel as if you're in the lap of luxury. Ever since the Accord was launched, its highlight has remained its back seat. It's like a living room in here. The sheer width of the seat, the leg room, the headroom is also good. The visibility, you sit high up, it's really, really nice and a very comfortable place to be. Any luxury car worth its price should be able to smoothen the worst of potholes. And the good thing is that both cars do really well here. Low speed ride is a Sonata's strength. It really softens the blow from the worst of Indian potholes. The trouble is, the faster you go, there is a lot more movement which you feel especially in the back. Let's start with the Honda Accord. Now it may be a few years into its life, but it still retains many of its strengths. It has a very comfortable back seat, it's got an excellent engine and it's quite nice to drive too. But it's feeling a bit long in the tooth now, especially when you stand it next to the Sonata. Now the Sonata is newer, fresher and it looks really striking. It's even got plusher interiors and when you talk of backseat comfort, it runs the Accord pretty close. Plus there's the engine that is more punchy and a wee bit more refined. Then when you look at the features, you get a lot for your money. So in this battle, the Sonata is our clear winner. But despite being the winner, the Sonata still finds itself in a pretty tough place. That's because Indian buyers don't really want petrol luxury saloons. They want diesels. So the Sonata will have to really work up some magic to shine in this segment.
Coming up, Hyundai's big hatch, the i20, has been facelifted. Does it still have the mojo? Find out after this break.